parathyroids and adrenals. Anatomy. Parathyroids are endocrine glands situated behind the thyroid gland. They are 4 in number, 2 on each side. 2 upper glands are constant in position. Superior is behind recurrent laryngeal nerve. They develop from 4th pharyngeal pouch, hence called as parathyroid IV. 2 lower glands are variable in position. They develop from endoderm of 3rd pharyngeal pouch, hence called as parathyroid 3. It is usually in front of the recurrent laryngeal nerve, lower part. Inferior parathyroids are larger than superior. Adenoma is common in inferior parathyroids. Inferior parathyroid and thymus develop from 3rd pharyngeal arch. Each gland weighs 40 to 50 mg. It is brownish, khaki-colored, firm gland, which sinks in the fluid unlike fat which floats. It is usually adjacent to the anastomosis between superior and inferior thyroid arteries posteriorly. Glands, chief cells, secrete parathormone, PTH, which controls the calcium metabolism. Variations are common in inferior parathyroids. It can be located in thyrothymic ligament, superior pole of thyroid, tracheoesophageal groove, behind esophagus, carotid sheath. There may be more than 2 glands on one side called as supernumerary gland, 2.5–22%. Both superior and inferior glands receive their blood supply from inferior thyroid artery and its anastomotic branch. Blood supply is through an end arterial branch. Gland contains chief and oxyphil, water-clear, cells. B. Parathormone, PTH. XXPTH is a peptide of 84 amino acids. XXPTH secretion is not dependent on pituitary gland. XX it converts vitamin D into 1,25-dihydrocholecalciferol in the kidney, an active principle. XX increases absorption of the calcium from the gut. XX mobilizes calcium from the bone. XX increases the calcium reabsorption from the renal tubules. XX half-life of PTH is 4 minutes. Calcium total calcium in plasma in ionized and non-ionized, unbound and bound, form is 8.5-10.2 mg per deciliter, 2.2-2.5 millimoles, L, 55% is bound, 45% is unbound ionized free active part, 4.5–5.0 mg per deciliter. Commonest protein part of bound calcium is albumin, 80%. Remaining is beta-globulin, non-protein molecules. Ionized calcium is inversely related to pH of blood. Raise in pH by 1 will reduce the ionized calcium by 0.36 millimoles, L. Levels of calcium is controlled by PTH, calcitonin and vitamin D acting on bone, kidney and GIT. PTH, 84 amino acids, is secreted by chief cells whenever serum calcium level falls. PTH stimulates osteoclasts for bone resorption, kidney to promote calcium reabsorption and production of 1,25-dihydroxy vitamin D, GIT to promote absorption of calcium and phosphorus. Vitamin D hydroxylation at carbon-25 occurs in liver, and later at carbon-1 occurs in kidney. It is important for blood coagulation, neuromuscular activity, cellular activity, bone integrity. Hyperparathyroidism, HPT. Types: 1. Primary. 2. Secondary. 3. Tertiary. Primary HPT is unstimulated inappropriate high PTH secretion due to hyperplasia or adenoma causing hypercalcemia. It is hypercalcemia with unsuppressed and so elevated PTH level. Primary hyperparathyroidism may be due to adenoma, 75–90%, hyperplasia, 20–24%, or carcinoma, rare, 1%. Its prevalence is 0.5%. Mostly present with weight symptoms with bone pain. Sporadic cases are common. Familial association with type 1 or 2A can occur. Secondary HPT is due to chronic renal failure or due to malabsorption, vitamin D deficiency rickets, i.e. due to chronic hypocalcemia. There is always parathyroid hyperplasia. Chronic kidney disease causes hyperphosphatemia and reduced conversion of 25-DHCC to 1,25-DHCC. So absorption of calcium from GIT is reduced, causing chronic hypocalcemia, which stimulates PTH secretion and parathyroid hyperplasia. In secondary hyperparathyroidism, causes not in the parathyroids but away from that, all four glands get affected here. Anemia, which is resistant to erythropoietin stimulation, bone, joint, muscle symptoms, progressive ectopic calcification. Dilated cardiomyopathy with cardiac failure. Features of CKD. Other features. Glands often become nodular, causing it refractory to medical therapy. Serum phosphate level is higher, greater than 6 gram per deciliter, with low serum vitamin D. Serum calcium is normal or low, persistently high. Intact PTH greater than 5 OOPG per milliliter. Estimated volume of the largest gland is greater than 500 cubic millimeters or long axis is greater than 1 centimeter. Metastatic calcification is common. Vertebral body shows rugged jersey pattern, simulates transverse band of rugby jersey. Bone densitometry shows features of osteoporosis. Osteitis fibrosa cystica can also occur. Calciphylaxis can occur with disseminated vascular and cutaneous calcifications. Skin necrosis is due to calcific uremic arteriolopathy, tunica media. Sepsis and gangrene is common. Calciphylaxis is due to reduction in a 2-Hermans-Schmid glycoprotein, a calcification inhibitory protein. Calciphylaxis carries high mortality. Treatment is dialysis, wound care, hyperbaric oxygen, cincacalcet, sodium thiosulfate and emergency parathyroidectomy, renal transplantation. Treatment: calcimimetic drugs, vitamin D, subtotal parathyroidectomy, renal transplantation. Tertiary HPT is due to autonomous reactive hyperplasia of parathyroids causing hyperparathyroidism and hypercalcemia seen after renal transplantation. Serum calcium and PTH will be high but serum phosphate will be low. It requires subtotal, total parathyroidectomy with autotransplantation. Carcinoma of parathyroid. It is rare, 1%. Prevalence is 0.005%. Risk factors are earlier neck irradiation, chronic kidney disease and genetic, mutation of HRPT2 gene, HPT-JT syndrome, hyperparathyroidism, Joe tumor. It is slow growing but 95% of them are functioning tumors with severe hypercalcemia, serum calcium greater than 14 mg per deciliter. It presents as nodule, 50%, palpable neck lymph nodes along with HPT. It is invasive to soft tissues, thyroid, perineural spaces. Often blood spread can occur. It clinically mimics thyroid nodule. Histologically, it shows thick fibrous bands, 90%, mitotic activity, 80%, capsular invasion, 65%, and vascular invasion, 15%. It is equal in both sexes. Hypercalcemia is common. US neck, CT, MRI neck is useful. Immunohistochemistry for parafibromin and protein gene product 9.5, PGP 9.5, is very useful. Raised levels of serum immunoreactive PTH, IPTH, is diagnostic. Tec99 labeled sestamib isotope scan is useful. Treatment: it needs wide on-block tumor excision, hemithyroidectomy, central or lateral neck node dissection and later radiotherapy to neck and mediastinum. Control of hypercalcemia is very important. Hydration, bisphosphonates, pamidronate, zoltranate, cinacalcet, 90 mg 4 times a day, and denosumab, 120 mg per month. Chemotherapy and radiotherapy has got limited benefits even though tried. With therapy, 5-year survival rate is 85%. Primary hyperparathyroidism. Primary HPT is third most common endocrine disease after diabetes and thyroid disease. Increased PTH causes hypercalcemia. Adenoma is the most common cause. Adenoma is common in inferior parathyroid. Hyperplasia. Carcinomas are less common causes. Exact etiology is unknown. Commonly it is sporadic. Familial or genetic causes are known to occur. Men-I syndrome, hyperparathyroidism, Joe tumor syndrome, HPT-JT syndrome, are often associated. Therapeutic ionizing radiation, like rate, can cause hyperparathyroidism. Lithium can cause parathyroid hyperplasia and HPT but without causing bone or renal problems. Clinical features. Clinical vignette of hyperparathyroidism: bones, stones, abdominal groans and psychiatric moans. As palpable neck swelling is uncommon, disease is suspected by various clinical features and so to confirm by biochemical evaluation, PTH assay. It is common in middle-aged women. 1. Incidence is 1,000 patients. Presentation may be asymptomatic, greater than 50% cases, asymptomatic hypercalcemia. Bones. Raised PTH causes increased osteoclastic activity leading into extensive decalcification of the bone resulting in bone pain, subperiosteal erosions on the radial aspect of the middle phalanges and clavicle. There will be osteitis fibrosa cystica, von Recklinghausen disease of hyperparathyroidism, Brown tumor of hyperparathyroidism, 15% cases of PTH, which show single or multiple cysts or pseudotumors in the jaw, skull or phalanges. There will be osteopenia, osteoporosis and pathological bone fractures. Acquired tracheonychia, racket nails, suggests bone resorption. Laminar dura of tooth is the first bone to show changes. Brown tumor is seen in long bones. Stones. In the kidney due to hypercalcemia, renal stones, 25%, develop which are usually multiple. 3% of all renal patient stones is due to primary PTH. Recurrent stones are commonly observed in PTH. Calculi are usually calcium phosphate or oxalate types. Metastatic calcification of the renal parenchyma can occur resulting in nephrocalcinosis resulting into renal failure. Calcification occurs in the renal vessels leading into renal hypertension. Abdominal groans. Hypercalcemia stimulates gastrin release which causes peptic ulceration. Hypercalcemia can precipitate acute pancreatitis. Gallstone disease is increased due to hypercalcemia. Calcium bilirubinate type is the one usually observed. Psychic moans. Behavioral and neurotic problems with depression, anxiety, present as non-specific symptoms. Other features. They are prone for skin necrosis, corneal ulceration, band keratopathy, identified through slit lamp examination, pseudogout, myalgia, joint pain, backache, polyuria, polydipsia, constipation, glycosuria and hypertension. Proximal myopathy and muscle wasting can occur. Men syndrome, I and EA, can coexist. Primary HPT is the earliest and commonest manifestation of Men-I syndrome and develops in more than 80% of these patients. Calcinosis of PTH can present as renal stones, gallstones. Metastatic calcifications occur in kidney, nephrocalcinosis, chondrocalcinosis, calcifications in skin, vessels, cardiac valves and soft tissues. On examination of the neck, it is not common to reveal a palpable swelling of parathyroid enlargement. Primary HPT is commonly sporadic than familial XX. Histological difference between adenoma and hyperplasia is difficult to assess. XX on table gross look is preferred method. XX adenoma is usually single. Multiple adenomas occur in elderly, 5%. XX hyperplasia involves all four parathyroids. XX parathyroid cyst may be developmental, secondary to degeneration of nodule or adenoma. Cyst aspiration shows clear fluid with high PTH level in the content fluid. XX preoperative IV methylene blue 5 mg per kilogram in 500 ml dextrose saline which stains parathyroids is used often to localize glands. XX 50% of one gland is sufficient to maintain function. XX persistent HPT is one in which HPT persists immediately even after initial surgery. XX recurrent HPT, initially after first surgery HPT is corrected but recurs 12 months after surgery, is due to parathyromatoses, development of new adenoma, and hyperplasia of transplanted parathyroid. Parathyromatoses is due to rupture and spillage of parathyroid tissue in neck, mediastinum forming functioning nodules. XX re-exploration and removal in persistent, recurrent HPT needs on-table PTH assay. On-table PTH level drop more than 50% of preoperative value indicates the success of surgical removal. XXCT, MRI, PET scan and selective angiography are usually done only for recurrent diseases. Acute hyperparathyroidism crisis causes sudden increase in PTH level due to rupture of parathyroid cyst or bleeding in the parathyroid tumor. Severe dehydration precipitates crisis. Secondaries in bone, primary may be from breast. Note: acute hyperparathyroidism is rare but dangerous presentation, crisis, wherein patient presents with abdominal pain, vomiting, dehydration, oliguria, muscular weakness and death. Serum Ca++ is very high, greater than 12 mg%, 3.5 millimoles, L. Serum calcium greater than 4.5 millimoles, L, greater than 14 mg per deciliter, causes coma and death. Treatment of crisis. Forced diuresis using 3 to 5 liters of saline with furosemide. Rehydration using normal saline 300 ml per hour. Steroids. Inhibits effects of vitamin D. Doses 400 mg per day IV for 5 days. Clodronate Na plus, pomegranate 90 mg IV slowly in 4 hours, is a bisphosphonates inhibits mobilization of the calcium from the bone. Zoldronic acid 4 mg IV initially and later 8 mg is also used. Drugs to reduce Ca++ level, i.e. mithramycin, calcitonin, prednisolone, bisphosphonates. Mithramycin rapidly controls the hypercalcemia of malignant disease but temporarily. Cynic acid is calcium receptor agonist which reduces the serum calcium level. Gallium nitrate inhibits osteoclast resorption of calcium at a dose of 200 mg per square meter per day for 5 days. Condition has high mortality rate. Patient develops hyperchloremic metabolic acidosis. Investigations for HPT. High serum calcium level more than 10 mg%. Serum albumin level also should be assessed to identify accurate ionic calcium level. Parameters. Primary HPT. Secondary HPT. Parathormone high. High. Calcium. High. Normal. Phosphate. Decreased. Increased. Increased serum PTH level is specific and diagnostic, greater than 0.5. Assay of intact PTH is more relevant. Intact PTH is biologically active PTH molecules, whole or biointact. Parathyroid hormone assays using 2 different antibodies against 2 different segments of parathyroid hormone is still more specific. Serum phosphate level will be decreased in primary HPT, but in secondary HPT serum phosphate level is increased. Bone density assessment. Vitamin D estimation. Increased urinary calcium level greater than 250 mg, 24 hours. Raised serum alkaline phosphatase level. X-ray skull shows salt and pepper appearance. X-ray phalanges, subperiosteal bone resorption and tufting of distal phalanges. and Joe are also specific, showing osteitis fibrosa cystica. X-ray spine may show rugged Jersey spine. Dual energy X-ray absorptiometry (DXA) for evaluation of bone mineral density (BMD) is very useful. X-ray features in hyperparathyroidism. XX pepper lesions in the skull, XX subperiosteal erosion of radial side of middle phalanx, XX calcification in bones. Ultrasound abdomen to find out problems in kidney, pancreas. Ultrasound neck and CT, multiphase 4D CT, MRI scan neck and mediastinum. Selective venous sampling for PTH is also very useful. Thallium technetium scan shows hot spots, which is diagnostic of parathyroid adenoma. Technetium 99 meters labeled sestami B isotope scan is better and sensitive, 80%, than thallium TC scan. As it is very expensive, it is used in parathyroid re-exploration. It is often combined with single photon emission computerized tomography, SPECT. Urinary camp level increases in 90% cases. Angiography, venous sampling, USG-guided biopsy are other methods. Differential diagnosis. Secondaries in the bone, due to secretion of PTH-related polypeptide by tumor. Actual PTH is suppressed. Multiple myeloma. Vitamin D intoxication. Sarcoidosis. Functioning carcinoma. Familial hypocalciuric hypercalcemia is an autosomal dominant disease with mild raise in serum calcium and PTH levels secondary to mutation in the cell membrane calcium receptor. Urinary calcium excretion is low. It does not require parathyroidectomy. Calcium creatinine clearance ratio is less than 0.01 in this condition, whereas it is greater than 0.02 in primary HPT. It is due to heterozygous mutation in calcium receptor gene, chromosome 3. Treatment. Indications for parathyroidectomy. XX severe symptoms, XX young age group, XX markedly reduced bone density, XX serum calcium more than 11 mg%, XX urinary calculi, XX neuromuscular presentations, XX urinary calcium more than 400 mg, 24 hours. Surgical removal of the all four glands and implantation of fragments of the gland in forearm muscle is done, i.e. to brachyradialis muscle, commonly used muscle, or neck, sternomastoid, not commonly used now. Marker stitch is placed at the transplantation site. 1/2 of 1/3 rod of one gland or 100 mg of parathyroid gland is autotransplanted, total parathyroidectomy. 3.5 glands are removed in half of one parathyroid gland, most normally appearing gland, commonly 1/2 of one inferior parathyroid, is retained in situ with marker stitch using non-absorbable suture material, subtotal parathyroidectomy. If it is carcinoma, additional hemithyroidectomy with postoperative radiotherapy is required. Adenoma when occurs in one gland with normal other glands, removal of that gland with adenoma may be sufficient. When all four glands are diseased, transcervical thymectomy is also added along with total parathyroidectomy to reduce persistent and recurrent disease. In familial and men's syndromes, total parathyroidectomy is better. If it is mediastinal parathyroid adenoma, after proper localization thoracoscopic removal may be sufficient. Non-surgical care like good hydration, regular exercise, avoiding immobilization, daily calcium and vitamin D intake is done in patients who have recovered from acute crisis. Estrogens reduce the calcium level and maintain bone density. Raloxifene, a selective estrogen receptor modulator, also reduces the serum calcium level. Bisphosphonates, mainly alendronate, improves the bone mineral density, BMD, in primary HPT but without altering the levels of PTH or calcium. Cinacalcet, A calcimimetic drug activates calcium receptor and reduces the levels of PTH and calcium but not increasing the BMD. Calcitonin, mithramycin are other drugs used. Mithramycin is used once a week but is hepatotoxic and also causes thrombocytopenia. But medical treatment for primary HPT is less effective and not popular. Problems in parathyroidectomy. XX permanent hypoparathyroidism, XX persistent hypoparathyroidism, 5% XX recurrent hypoparathyroidism, hypercalcemia recurs 12 months after first parathyroid surgery. XX recurrent laryngeal nerve injury, 1% XX often needs additional thyroidectomy. XX variations in positions of the gland especially lower may be in mediastinum. XX sudden drop in calcium level after surgery due to increased absorption of calcium by bones, hungry bone syndrome. PARATHYROIDECTOMY indications in primary HPT. Symptomatic HPT. Asymptomatic HPT with criteria 2002 for surgical intervention are 3/4. Raise in serum calcium level more than 1 mg per deciliter of upper limit of the normal calcium range. 3/4. 24-hour urinary calcium if more than 400 mg. Creatinine clearance when reduced more than 30%. Bone density greater than 2.5 standard deviations below peak bone mass in lumbar spine, hip, lower end of radius. 3/4 age below 50 years. When medical therapy is not possible. Indications in secondary HPT. 3/4. Here indication for removal of all 4 glands with autotransplantation of parathyroid is only in severe cases or with renal osteodystrophy. Preoperative preparation. Vocal cords should be assessed by preoperative indirect laryngoscopy. High calcium levels preoperatively may require treatment with hydration, diuresis, steroids, prednisolone 20 mg TID for 5 days before surgery, 100 millimoles phosphate infusion in 6 hours, 200 units calcitonin subcutaneous injection for 5 days twice daily before surgery, diphosphonates, etiodronate disodium 7.5 mg, kilogram daily is slow IV infusion for 3 days, mithramycin 25 micrograms per kilogram is single dose. Anesthesia and position. General anesthesia is used with neck hyperextension by placing rolled sheet under the shoulder blades. Head is placed on the head ring. Head end of the table is raised to semi-erect position, semi-Fowler position. Incision and dissection. It is same as for thyroidectomy. Flaps are raised in similar way. Strap muscles are separated after opening the deep fascia in the midline. Thyroid gland is mobilized to identify the parathyroid adenoma. Parathyroid having adenoma is mobilized which is close to recurrent laryngeal nerve. End artery of the parathyroid is identified and ligated. Adenoma is separated from adjacent thyroid tissue using gauze dissection. Either on-table venous sampling for PTH-assay is done or venous sample from cubital vein is done for PTH-assay. Parathyroid may be confirmed by frozen section biopsy or on-table aspiration of parathyroid tissue which is analyzed for PTH-assay which will be more than 1500 pg per milliliter, confirms that removed tissue is parathyroid. Total parathyroidectomy is done for parathyroid hyperplasia by removing all 4 glands and 1/3 of one gland is autotransplanted into the forearm muscle, brachyradialis, or sternocleidomastoid muscle with marker stitch. Gland to be transplanted is sliced into 1 mm pieces and around 18 pieces are embedded in decided muscle with a marker stitch or clip. If in postoperative period patient still presents with features of primary HPT, transplanted area is re-explored and further reduction in parathyroid tissue is done. Wound is closed with proper hemostasis. Complications. Hemorrhage, recurrent laryngeal nerve palsy, hypocalcemia and hungry bone syndrome are known to occur. Persistent HPT, serum calcium does not normalize immediately after surgery leading to total failure, or recurrent HPT, serum calcium after surgery becomes normal, but in 6 to 12 months, it again increases, may be a problem. Hypoparathyroidism with severe hypocalcemia is a problem when all glands are removed. 3.5. With bilateral neck exploration, 10 ampoules of calcium gluconate is diluted with 1 liter of normal saline and given as continuous infusion at a rate of 30 milliliters per hour. Initial method of management. Hypomagnesemia should also be corrected. Migration or inability to identify the transplanted parathyroid is often a problem in autotransplantation of parathyroid. Hungry bone syndrome 3/4. It occurs usually in patients with preoperative hypothyroidism. They have increased bone breakdown in their hypothyroid state. When a patient's thyroid hormone level drops acutely after surgery, stimulus to break down bone is removed. The bones are now hungry for calcium. Remove calcium from the plasma rapidly. 3/4. It usually occurs after parathyroidectomy, thyroidectomy for toxic thyroid, prostate cancer patients on estrogen therapy. Sudden cessation of existing increased bone breakdown makes bones to absorb calcium, magnesium and phosphorus rapidly. Calcium levels in blood prior to operation cannot predict hungry bone syndrome. Hypocalcemia, hypophosphatemia, hypomagnesemia and hyperkalemia are 4 typical features in these patients. Estimation and correction of all these 4 factors is essential. ECG changes can occur. Hyperkalemia should be treated judicially. Magnesium infusion is needed. There is an unusually high need for calcium, with a low calcium excretion in the urine. 3/4. Bone-specific alkaline phosphatase, ALK, continues to rise in the first few weeks, indicating increased bone reconstruction. 3/4. Supplementation of vitamin D and elemental calcium is needed during discharge for 6 months. Postoperatively they need calcitriol, gradually increased to 16 mg in 1 month, then gradually reduced, with 2 grams calcium supplement. 3/4. Monitoring is done by evaluating serum calcium, albumin, magnesium, phosphorus and bone-specific alkaline phosphatase. Injury to recurrent laryngeal nerve, esophagus can occur. Effects of surgery. Among neuromuscular symptoms of primary HPT, proximal muscle weakness responds better than respiratory muscle weakness by parathyroidectomy. Among psychiatric illnesses, depression and spatial learning and processing improve well by surgery. Bone mineral density in hip and lumbar spine becomes better. Nephrocalcinosis is improved by surgery, but hypertension and renal excretion will not improve much. Half-life of PTH is 4 minutes. On-table serial PTH assays are done at several intervals, before dissection of the gland, during dissection and after dissection. 50% reduction in PTH level from baseline in post-removal sample is a 96% predictor of complete removal. Operative failure rate is 1.5 to 6%. Intraoperative PTH assay improves the success rate very much, 76 to 94%. Cure rate is defined as normocalcemia in 6 months postoperative period. Radio-guided parathyroidectomy using intravenous injection of 20 mCi of 99 mTC sestamib 2 hours before surgery is not routinely practiced but may be useful for removal of adenoma appropriately. Handheld quantitative gamma counter is used intraoperatively on the neck over all parathyroid tissues. Surgical approaches. Classic approach, traditional approach. It is under general anesthesia exploring bilateral neck to remove parathyroid tissue which is confirmed by frozen section biopsy. It shows 95% cure rate with 2% complication rate. Minimally invasive parathyroidectomy, MIP, focused parathyroidectomy. It is done in case of single adenoma of parathyroid under regional cervical block anesthesia, usually in ambulatory setup. It is actually unilateral parathyroidectomy with removal of adenoma and involved entire that particular one parathyroid gland using limited neck exploration, small incision of 2-4 cm. Procedure is not useful in multiple adenomas or hyperplasia. Preoperative localization with sestamibi combined with SPECT is a must. Intraoperative PTH assay is a must to confirm drop in PTH level to required level. Cervical block is given by infiltrating the xylocaine, 1%, with adrenaline along posterior and deep to sternocleidomastoid muscle and also along the neck incision. Direct field block along the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid and over the incision is also used. Postoperative serum calcium and PTH level should be assessed until 7th day. It can be video-assisted or radio-guided parathyroidectomies also. Video-assisted parathyroidectomy, Paolo Micoli, it is done in localized single adenoma using multiple ports on one side with intermittent CO2 insufflation and suction irrigation. 1.5 cm incision 1 cm above the sternal notch helps in tactile assessment and dissection. Strap muscles are retracted laterally and thyroid is retracted medially. Conversion rate is 11%. RLN palsy is 2%. Endoscopic parathyroidectomy. Entire parathyroidectomy is done using laparoscopy. It is first used, 1994, for a mediastinal parathyroid adenoma. In 1996, it was used for neck parathyroid hyperplasia by Gagner for removing 3.5 glands. Now technique is limited to single adenoma to remove tumor in gland. Low pressure insufflations with 5 mm 4 trocars are used. Placement of trocars is dependent on the need of the operating surgeon. Many place trocars on one side only, but few prefer to place working trocars on opposite side. Median stenotomy, 3%. Extension. Median stenotomy is often needed when parathyroid is in anterior mediastinum along with thymus. Often parathyroids may be 5, 6 or 7 in numbers instead of 4. Fig. 7.4. Remedial parathyroidectomy. It is done for persistent HPT. Serum calcium is not normalized immediately after surgery leading to total failure, or recurrent HPT. Serum calcium after surgery becomes normal but in 6 to 12 months, it again increases. It is done through lateral approach, find between anterior margin of sternocleidomastoid and strap muscles so that scar tissues are avoided from initial dissection. On-table localization methods. On-table PTH assay are needed. Medial stenotomy often may be needed to explore the mediastinum for complete removal of the gland. Parathyroids in such situations may be embedded in the tissue of thyroid or thymus. So removal of these glands also may be a need in such situations. Subtotal parathyroidectomy. It is indicated in hyperplasia or secondary HPT wherein 3.5 glands are removed, retaining 1/2 of one gland. Total parathyroidectomy with parathyroid autotransplantation. It is done alternatively in hyperplasia wherein all 4 glands are removed. 1/3 or 1/2 of one gland is transplanted into sternocleidomastoid or brachyradialis muscle with a marker. Disease control will not occur if more part of the gland is transplanted. It is removing all 4 glands and 1/2 or 1/3. 495 of one gland. Autotransplanted into the forearm muscle, brachyradialis, or sternocleidomastoid muscle with marker stitch. Transplanting gland is sliced into 1 mm pieces and around 18 pieces are embedded in decided muscle with a marker stitch or clip. If postoperatively patient still presents with features of primary HPT, transplanted area is re-explored and further reduction in parathyroid tissue is done. Migration or inability to identify The transplanted parathyroid is often a problem in autotransplantation of parathyroid. Men syndrome, MA syndrome. Men, multiple endocrine neoplasia. MA, multiple endocrine adenomatosis. It is the endocrine syndrome complex usually inherited as an autosomal dominant. Men type 1 could be due to inactivation of the men type 1 tumor suppressor gene 11q13, but occasionally it can be sporadic. It is mutation of RET, rearranged during transfection, protuncogene in men type 2 in chromosome 10. Types: men type 1, men type 2A, men type 2B. Men type 1, 3PS, parathyroid, pancreas, pituitary. It is also called as Wermer's syndrome, 1954. Here the defect is in chromosome 11q13, menin-related. At least two of the above target endocrines involvement or in familial men type 1 target endocrine tumor in a first-degree relative. Hyperparathyroidism, 90%, due to parathyroid hyperplasia or adenomas is the most common manifestation. Unlike other primary HPT, in men type 1 HPT occurs in younger age group, multiple glands are involved, recurrence is high after parathyroidectomy. It occurs in young age group, 20 to 25 years. Serum calcium, PTH, Tech 99 labeled Sestami B isotope scan, imaging of neck are done. Pancreatic islet, endocrine, neuroendocrine, tumors are second common, 80%. Gastrinomas are the commonest type, 55%. Insulinomas are second common, 30%. Glucagonomas, VIPOMAs are other tumors which can occur in men type 1. Usually they are multiple microdenomas, less than 2 cm in size, often non-functioning also. Gastrinoma presents with Zollinger-Ellison syndrome with complicated peptic ulcer. Gastrin level will be more than 1000 pg per milliliter, normal value is 100 pg per milliliter. Rising titer of 150 to 500 pg per milliliter after injection of secretin is also observed. MRI and endosonography is very useful. Pituitary tumors, anterior pituitary, are next common in men type 1. Prolactinoma is the commonest type, 60%, in men type 1, next is growth hormone secreting tumor. In men type 1, it is large, macronodular, aggressive and less responsive to therapy. It occurs in very young age group, 5 years. Serum prolactin estimation, MRI head should be done. Transsphenoidal pituitary surgery with radiotherapy is the treatment. Occasionally forget carcinoids, gastric, bronchial or thymic. Adrenal cortical tumors, thymic neuroendocrine tumor can occur with men type 1 syndrome. Men type 2, men type EA, Sippel's disease, it includes medullary carcinoma of thyroid plus pheochromocytoma plus parathyroid hyperplasia, PHPT, 50%. Here the defect is in chromosome 10. Men type E, it includes medullary carcinoma of thyroid plus pheochromocytoma plus mucosal neuromas in lips and eyelids with bumpy lumpy lesions, with murphinoid face, megacolon, congenital. Pheochromocytoma in men syndrome is almost always benign and in greater than 50% patients they are bilateral and multicentric. Men 2B is more aggressive, commonly seen in infancy and early childhood. Total parathyroidectomy with total thyroidectomy and adrenalectomy is the treatment. Evaluation of men syndrome, family history, biochemical screening with parathormone, serum calcium, prolactin, growth hormone, blood sugar, insulin, proinsulin, pancreatic polypeptide, glucagons, gastrin levels, calcitonin, urinary catecholamines estimation, genetic screening from isolated DNA from peripheral blood white cells for red proto-oncogene. APUDOMAS. APUD, amine precursor uptake decarboxylation, cells are cells having specific cytochemical characteristics. They are 3/4 high amine content, 3/4 capacity of amine precursor uptake, property of decarboxylation of these precursors to form amines. Initially it is thought that APUD cells are derived from neural crest cells, pairs, but now found to be from endoderm. Cells share similarities in structure, Properties: histological, histochemical, immunocytochemical and electron microscopic appearance. Neuron-specific enolase enzyme is specific for these cells. These cells have got capacity to synthesize peptides which has got different modes of action. They are 1. Endocrine action where peptides get secreted into circulation to have distant target actions. 2. Paracrine action where peptides get secreted locally to have action at local sites. 3. Neurocrine action where peptides act as neurotransmitter at neuronal synapses. 4. Neuroendocrine action where peptides stimulate release of peptide product of the neuron into the circulation. Apodomers can also be 3/4 orthoendocrine. 1. Tumors secreting normal polypeptides of their cells of origin, e.g. insulinoma, astrinoma, pancreatic glucagonoma, calcitoninoma. 2. Tumors secreting normal amines of their cells of origin, e.g. pheochromocytoma, neuroblastoma and ganglioneuroma, adrenal medulla, and carcinoid tumor. 3/4 Paraendocrine apodomer syndrome, PES. 1. Tumors of endocrine glands secreting hormones characteristic of other glands, other apod cells. 2. Tumors of organs, not usually regarded as endocrine in nature, secreting hormones, e.g. oat cell carcinoma of bronchus producing ectopic ACTH. Tumors arising from these cells are grouped as apodomers. Many of parathyroid tumors, pancreatic tumors are under this group. Their presentations are commonly due to increased secretions of these neuroendocrine hormones. Commonly presentation is like syndromes. Insulinoma, glucagonoma, gastrinoma, lipoma are different examples. Tumors are of entopic type if they secrete hormones normal to the tissue of origin like insulinoma, glucagonoma. They are ectopic type if they produce hormones which are not normal to the tissue of origin like gastrinoma, lipoma. Apodomers are commonly associated with Men's syndrome, commonly type 1. Radioimmunoassay, MRI abdomen, CT neck are useful investigations. Treatment is of individual diagnosed components of the condition. HYPOPARATHYROIDISM. Hypoparathyroidism is defined as a PTH level less than 10 pg per milliliter. Normal values range between 10 and 65 pg per milliliter. Was considered permanent when it lasted for more than 6 months. Permanent hypoparathyroidism would be defined as requirement of therapeutic vitamin D and/or calcium replacement at 6 months of fasting albumin-corrected serum calcium below 8.0 mg per deciliter. Types: temporary more common, 2 to 50%, average 10%. Usually lasts for 2 months maximum up to 6 months. Decrease in calcium, increase in phosphorus. Permanent less common, 0.4-13%, average 1%. Permanent, continues beyond 6 months. Decrease in calcium, increase in phosphorus. Hungry bone syndrome, common, 5 to 13%, severe, rapid begins in immediate postoperative period. Decrease in calcium, decrease in phosphorus. Inadequate production of PTH leads to hypocalcemia. Hypoparathyroidism and the resulting hypocalcemia may be permanent or transient. The rate of permanent hypoparathyroidism is 0.4-13%. Causes are direct trauma to the parathyroid glands, devascularization of the glands, or removal of the glands during surgery like thyroidectomy and parathyroidectomy. The rate of temporary hypocalcemia is reportedly 2 to 50%. The cause of transient hypocalcemia after surgery is due to temporary hypoparathyroidism caused by reversible ischemia to the parathyroid glands, hypothermia to the glands, or release of endothelin-1. Endothelin-1 is an acute phase reactant which suppresses PTH production. Other hypothesis is calcitonin release in hungry bone syndrome. Calcitonin is produced by the thyroid C cells, which inhibits bone breakdown while stimulating renal excretion of calcium, opposite of PTH. An effective method of evaluation of parathyroid function is to assess ionized calcium, or total calcium and albumin, levels in the perioperative period. A normal postoperative PTH level can accurately predict normocalcemia after thyroid surgery. Immediate postoperative PTH level if less than 1.5 pmol. And morning serum calcium less than 2.0 millimoles L, then patient is at risk of hypocalcemia. Features of hypoparathyroidism: circumoral tingling, numbness, paresthesia, carpopedal spasm, laryngeal stridor, respiratory muscle spasm, suffocation, convulsions, blurred vision due to intraocular muscle spasm. Cataract formation is late feature. Treatment: patients who have symptomatic hypocalcemia in the early postoperative period or whose calcium levels continue to fall rapidly need treatment. In symptomatic patients, intravenous calcium gluconate 10 ml 10% solution, 1 gram, is administered over 10 minutes. A calcium infusion is started at a rate of 1 to 2 mg per kilogram per hour if symptoms do not resolve. Rate of infusion is decided by repeated analysis of serum calcium and clinical features. 1 to 2 grams of elemental oral calcium should be given each day. Calcium carbonate 1250 mg provides 500 mg of elemental calcium. The patient should take 2500, 5000 mg per day. The patient needs vitamin D supplementation with calcitriol 0.25-1 mg per day. The calcium supplementation should be divided 4 to 5 times per day rather than in a single dose to maximize absorption by the GI tract. Intravenous, intramuscular magnesium 0.5 grams, 4 mg per kilogram body weight for 5 days, later magnesium gluconate tablets 500 mg orally. In 2 months, trial weaning of oral calcium can be made to identify whether the hypoparathyroidism is temporary. Need for calcium supplementation longer than 6 months indicates permanent hypoparathyroidism. Prevention of hypoparathyroidism: proper preoperative parathyroid localization, maintaining blood supply of parathyroids, capsular ligation of the thyroid vessels at lower pole to retain parathyroid end arteries, parathyroid autotransplantation, if all 4 parathyroids are removed. Spurious hypocalcemia: it is decrease in total calcium, albumin and hematocrit in the first 2 postoperative days following any surgery including non-thyroid. Surgical stress releases UDH causing water retention and hemodilution. Albumin-bound total calcium is decreased. Free ionized calcium is normal unlike in true hypocalcemia. TETANYADRENALS. Decreased level of calcium in blood causing its effects. Causes: after thyroidectomy, it is decreased level of parathormone in the blood causing hypocalcemia. It is usually temporary, lasts for 4 to 6 weeks. It is the commonest cause of hypoparathyroidism. Other causes of hypoparathyroidism are neck dissection, hemochromatosis, Wilson's disease, DeGeorge syndrome, severe vomiting, hyperventilation associated with respiratory alkalosis, metabolic alkalosis, rickets, osteomalacia, chronic renal failure, acute pancreatitis. Decreased PTH causes decrease in calcium level in the blood leading to circumoral paresthesia, paresthesia of neck, fingers and toes, twitching and weakness of tongue muscles, muscles of forearm, hand, foot and digits, carpopedal spasm. Fingers are extended except at the MCP joints and thumb is strongly adducted. Obstetricians, a Caucher's hand, there is extension of feet to develop carpopedal spasm. Chavostick sign, tapping above the angle of the jaw to stimulate branches of facial nerve causes the twitching of the angle of mouth and eyelids. Applying the sphygmomanometer to the arm and inflating the pressure more than systolic pressure, 200 mm of Hg, of the patient for 3 minutes can demonstrate carpal spasm, Trousseau sign. stridor and difficulty in breathing due to paralysis of respiratory muscles. Generalized weakness and twitching all over the body in severe cases mimicking convulsions. Prolonged QT interval in QRS complex in ECG. Management. Serum calcium estimation is done. It will be less than 7 mg%. IV calcium gluconate 10% 10 ml 6/8 hourly is given. Later oral calcium, 1 gram 3 times daily, with vitamin D supplementation, 1 to 3 microg daily. Follow up at regular intervals by doing serum calcium level. Magnesium sulfate supportive therapy is also often needed, 10 ml 10% magnesium sulfate intravenously. B. DiGeorge syndrome, XX absence parathyroids, cardiac defects XX thymic aplasia with immunodeficiency. ADRENALS. Adrenal cortex contains 3 layers. 1. Zona glomerulosa secretes mineralocorticoids. 2. Zona fasciculator secretes glucocorticoids. 3. Zona reticularis secretes sex hormones. 3/4 cortex, 85%, mesoderm, produces and secretes aldosterone, cortisol, DHEA. Medulla, 15%, neuroectoderm, produces and secretes norepinephrine, epinephrine. Note: adrenal gland is essential for life. It is the only gland which is fully developed at birth. Each gland weighs about 5 grams. Adrenal cortical tumors are usually adenomas. Any tumor measuring 6 cm or more are likely to be malignant, or have high risk of turning into malignancy. So requires surgical resection. Adenocarcinoma is the commonest adrenal cortical malignancy, 1%. It is very aggressive tumor. Cortical tumors may be functioning or non-functioning. Functioning tumors secrete mineralocorticoids, glucocorticoids or sex hormones or combinations of these. Investigations: 3/4 ultrasound abdomen, 3/4 CT scan, hormone evaluation. Treatment: 3/4 adrenalectomy. Incidentalomas, 3 to 5%. Incidentalomas are adrenal tumors incidentally identified either through US, CT scan, MRI, or any other methods done for other reasons. Whether incidentaloma is hormonally active, whether it is potentially malignant has to be assessed. When incidentalomas are identified, a proper biochemical workup for hormones is essential. Overnight dexamethasone suppression test, 24-hour urinary cortisol excretion assay, 24-hour urinary excretion of catecholamines, serum potassium, renin and aldosterone analysis are done in these patients. MRI in suspected malignancy is better. If secondaries are suspected, adrenal mass biopsy is done. Otherwise it should not be done. Non-functioning adenomas, commonest, 78%, Cushing's adenoma, adrenocortical carcinoma, pheochromocytoma. Secondaries, Conn's adenoma are different causes of adrenal incidentalomas. Adenoma with Cushing's syndrome is better than adenoma with Conn's syndrome. Tumor with adrenogenital syndrome is commonly malignant. Non-functioning adrenal tumor more than 4 cm should be operated. Smaller tumors that increase in size over specified period should be removed. All functioning tumors should be operated. Non-functioning tumor less than 4 cm should be followed up at regular intervals by hormone tests and CT, MRI. Adrenocortical carcinoma. It is a rare malignancy with 1 case in 1 million population. It is common in females with bimodal presentation. Features are tumor size, necrosis, hemorrhage, capsular invasion, vascular invasion. Immunohistochemistry is specific. Presentations are abdominal pain, back pain, Cushing's syndrome, 60%, hyperaldosteronism, virilization. It is least common malignant endocrine tumor. One of the most malignant endocrine tumor after anaplastic carcinoma of the thyroid. It can be functioning or non-functioning tumor. Larger tumors, greater than 6 cm, greater than 100 grams weight are more likely to be malignant. Cytologic criteria alone are not diagnostic but should find capsular infiltration and vascular invasion. Y scoring system is used based on architecture, 1, 2, 3 scores, the nucleus, 1, 2, 3 scores, the type of invasion, 1, 2, 3 scores, total 9 scores, score greater than 3 suggests carcinoma. Proliferation index, ASCII 67 immunomarker or mitotic count, can help to define the diagnosis and prognosis. A mitotic count greater than 20 mitoses, 50 HPF is high-grade tumor, with a worst prognosis, whereas low-grade tumor, with is less than or equal to 20 mitoses, 50 HPF, often presents with no symptoms or only vague symptoms, may present with mass effect and compression of adjacent structures. Increased secretion of one or more steroid hormones can occur. Diagnosis is by endocrine workup, CT, MRI, hysterangiography to identify IVC tumor thrombus. The determination of steroidogenic factor 1, SF1, expression has proved is the most valid marker. Secondaries occur commonly in lungs. So HRCT of lungs is usually done. Macfarlane staging. Stage 1, tumor less than 5 cm. Stage 2, tumor greater than 5 cm. Stage 3, tumor with local invasion. Stage 4, distant spread. In stage 1 and 2, 5-year survival is 25%. In stage 3 and IV, 5-year survival is 5%. It can be localized or metastatic tumor. Treatment, 3/4. Surgery is the mainstay of treatment. En bloc adrenalectomy. Adjacent organs like kidney, spleen may be removed if needed. Removal of tumor thrombus from vena cava if present. 3/4. Chemotherapy using mitotane, OBDDD, choice, with cisplatin, etoposide and doxorubicin. Mitotane is a derivative of the insecticide dichlorodiphanyl trichloroethane, DDD, with adrenolithic and cytotoxic activity. Mitotane plasma level is greater than or equal to 14 mg per liter is required for clinical efficacy and better survival. Mitotane with etoposide, cisplatin doxorubicin, MEDP, is the first line of chemotherapy. Mitotane streptozotocin, MSZ, is the second line of chemotherapy. Adjuvant radiotherapy may be used to prevent recurrence, little role. Recurrence is treated by debulking in chemotherapy. Metastatic disease is treated by RFA or TACE or debulking with chemotherapy. Target therapy is also tried. 3/4. Laparoscopic adrenalectomy is not advisable in adrenocortical carcinoma. Prognostic factors, tumor size greater than 12 cm, high mitotic activity greater than 6 mitoses, high power field, intratumor hemorrhage. Low risk group factors for recurrence are R0 resection, absence of metastases in Ki67 less than 10%. Secondaries in adrenal gland. XX common entity XX commonly from breast, lungs, kidney, melanoma XX 1/3 road of above primaries show secondaries in adrenal gland XX commonly bilateral XX in unilateral secondaries. Adrenalectomy can be done XX bilateral secondaries are treated by chemotherapy depending on type of primary. Approaches for adrenals, surgical. XX posterior lumbotomy XX anterior transabdominal XX abdominothoracic. XX laparoscopic XX retroperitoneoscopic. Cushing's syndrome results from lengthy and inappropriate exposure to excessive glucocorticoids. Iatrogenic administration of steroids, commonest cause, endogenous Cushing can also occur. More common in women. Corticotropin, ACTH, dependent, 80%, ACTH secreting pituitary adenoma, ectopic ACTH secreting tumor. Corticotrophin independent, 20%, adenoma, carcinoma, macronodular adrenal hyperplasia, primary pigmented nodular adrenal disease. Features: centripetal obesity, redistribution of fat centrally, moon phase, fullness of supraclavicular pad of fat, buffalo hump, proximal muscle wasting, lemon on toothstick appearance, skin changes. Diagnosis: loss of normal diurnal or circadian rhythm of serum cortisol. Values more than fourfold the upper limit of normal is diagnostic. 24-hour urinary free cortisol is elevated greater than 90% of Cushing's syndrome. Low-dose dexamethasone suppression test. Dexamethasone is a potent glucocorticoid that suppresses adrenal production of corticosteroids in normal persons but not in persons with Cushing's syndrome. 1 mg of dexamethasone is injected. Normal, less than 1.8 mg per deciliter. In Cushing's, high greater than 10 mg per deciliter. Late-night salivary cortisol. Cortisol concentration in saliva correlates with free plasma cortisol. It is independent of salivary flow rate. It shows high sensitivity and specificity. Negative urinary free cortisol and low-dose dexamethasone suppression test rules out Cushing's syndrome. Measurement of corticotropin, ACTH, if low, corticotropin independent Cushing's syndrome, if high, corticotropin dependent Cushing's disease. Localizing methods: imaging, adrenal, CT scan, MRI abdomen, iodocholesterol scan. Pituitary, MRI pituitary. It can be incidentaloma in pituitary. Inferior petrosal sinus sampling of blood for ACTH shows central to peripheral ratio of ACTH greater than 3. Treatment: medical, metapyrone, ketoconazole, aminoglutathamide, mitotane. Surgical for pituitary disease: transsphenoidal microsurgery, pituitary irradiation, conventional fractionated therapy, stereotactic radiosurgery, bilateral adrenalectomy. For adrenal disease, unilateral adrenalectomy in adenoma, carcinoma, bilateral adrenalectomy in macronodular adrenal hyperplasia and primary pigmented nodular adrenal disease. Conn syndrome, Jerome Conn, 1954. It is primary hyperaldosteronism with excessive secretion of aldosterone from the adrenal gland associated with suppression of plasma renin activity. Aldosterone secretion is related to angiotensin I-2 and plasma renin with angiotensin converting enzyme. Causes: aldosterone producing adrenocortical adenoma, aldosteronoma, 65%, idiopathic hyperaldosteronism, 30%. Features: hypertension, hypokalemia, hypernatremia or normal sodium, metabolic alkalosis. In primary hyperaldosteronism, hypertension of early onset which is difficult to control and is with hypokalemia. Diagnosis: hypokalemia, increase in urinary potassium excretion, elevated plasma aldosterone concentration, PAC, suppressed plasma renin activity, PRA, PAC, PRA greater than 30. It is confirmed by suppression test by oral or IV salt loading. Localizing tests: CECT abdomen, selective adrenal venous sampling, gold standard to differentiate between unilateral versus bilateral aldosterone hypersecretion. Treatment: adenoma, unilateral adrenalectomy, idiopathic hyperaldosteronism, medical treatment with spironolactone. Virilizing syndrome or ADRENOGENITAL syndrome. Virilizing tumors, syndromes. Such tumors are excised. 3/4 in female. Virilism, ambiguous external genitalia, clitoral enlargement. 3/4 in male. Precocious puberty, premature fusion of epiphysis, short stature. Congenital adrenal hyperplasia, adrenogenital syndrome, is enzyme 21 hydroxylase deficiency, autosomal recessive. It is treated by replacement of deficient steroids. Adrenal hyperplasia does not require surgical intervention, but the genital manifestations of excess androgen production, particularly in women, may require specialized surgery. Neuroblastoma, commonest childhood abdominal tumor. It is a tumor of adrenal medulla. An aggressive malignant tumor in childhood, usually below the age of 5 years. Incidence is equal in both sexes. A reddish-gray tumor gets invaded early into kidney, pancreas and adjacent tissues. It can also cause distant spread to liver, bones, skull, orbit. Note: it can occur anywhere in sympathetic chain but common in adrenal gland, 40%. Types. 1. Pepper type is right side adrenal neuroblastoma with liver secondaries. Common in infants. 2. Hutchinson's type is left side adrenal neuroblastoma with secondaries in orbit and skull. Common in late childhood. Secondaries in the skull mimic spicular osteogenic sarcomas. Pathology. Gross, tumor with vascularity, necrosis, hemorrhage and often calcifications. Histologically, it contains uniform round cells with hyperchromatic speckled nucleus with homoright rosettes with central fibrillar core. PAR stain is negative and NSE stain is positive. Often histochemistry is needed to differentiate from other tumors. Shimada et al. Histopathological classification is based on 1. The degree of neuroblast differentiation, 2. The presence or absence of Schwannian stromal development, stroma rich, stroma poor, 3. The index of cellular proliferation, known as mitosis karyohexis index, MKI, 4. Nodular pattern, and 5. Age. Favorable type will be well differentiated, stroma rich, MKI index is less than 205 thousandths, without nodularity, younger age group. Unfavorable type carries poor prognostic factors. Clinical features. Child presents as a huge mass per abdomen, in the loin which is non-mobile. Not moving with respiration. NOBI, nodular, surface, crosses the midline. Dancing eye syndrome and ophthalmiclonus. Raccoon's eye sign is infraorbital ecchymosis due to secondaries in retroorbital region. Hypertension, fever, weight loss, anemia, flushing, due to catecholamine release, and sweating. Diarrhea, hypokalemia due to release of vasoactive intestinal polypeptide, VIP. Other hormones like ACTH are also released. B. Staging of neuroblastoma XX stage 1, localized tumor with gross complete excision. Same side representative nodes are negative on microscopy. XX stage 2A, localized tumor with incomplete gross excision. Same side representative nodes are negative on microscopy. XX stage 2B, localized tumor with or without complete gross excision. Same side non-adherent representative nodes are positive but contralateral nodes are, may be enlarged, negative on microscopy. XX stage 3, unresectable unilateral tumor infiltrating across midline, localized tumor with opposite side node spread, bilateral nodal spread, midline tumor with bilateral infiltration. XX stage 4, any primary tumor with spread to distant nodes, bone, bone marrow, liver, skin and other organs. XX stage 4S, localized primary tumor, stage 1, EA, with spread to skin, liver or bone marrow, limited to infants younger than 1 year. Risk groups. Low risk groups, stage 1 disease, stage 2 disease with single NMYC value, stage 2 with favorable Shimada histology. Intermediate risk groups, stage 3 without NMYC amplification, stage 3 with favorable Shimada's histology. High risk groups, all patients with NMYC amplification, stage 4 neuroblastoma. Differential diagnosis. Wilms tumor, which is mobile, with smooth surface, moves with respiration, does not cross the midline. Investigation. Ultrasound. CT to assess the mass and secondaries in liver. MRI is better than CT. Plain X-ray abdomen shows stippled calcification. Urinary VMA and homovinilic acid, HVA, estimation in 90% cases. MEBG scan. Bone marrow biopsy may be positive in 60% cases. It is taken from the iliac bones both sides under general anesthesia. PET scan is done if MIBG is not beneficial. Elevated ferritin, LDH and NSE, neuron-specific enolase, is observed. Treatment: adrenalectomy, complete surgical excision. In inoperable cases, debulking is beneficial. Post-surgical radiotherapy and folic acid supplements are useful. Chemotherapy is useful adjuvant. Drugs used are carboplatin, doxorubicin, cyclophosphamide and etoposide. Rarely spontaneous regression of tumor is known to occur. Low-risk groups are treated by surgery. Intermediate risk groups are treated by surgery and multidrug chemotherapy. High-risk groups are treated by high-dose multidrug chemotherapy and later surgery. Other treatment modalities: retinoids, fenretinide, immunotherapy, GD2, radionuclide-targeted therapy, angiogenesis, tyrosine kinase, aurora kinase inhibitors are on trial. Bone marrow or stem cell transplantation are newer methods used. Prognosis: it depends on staging of the neuroblastoma, 1, 2A, 2B, 3, 4, 4S. Low risk has got 3 years survival, 90%, intermediate risk, 70% and high risk group has got 30%. Factors are age of the child, stage of the disease, Shamadas histology, NMYC amplification status, Mo means high risk, DNA ploidy, neurotrophin receptor TRKA, increased favorable, neutrophin receptor TRKB, increased unfavorable. Pheochromocytoma. It is a tumor arising from chromaffin cells, commonly from the adrenal medulla but occasionally can arise from extradrenal chromaffin tissues, organ of Zuckerkandl. The organ of Zuckerkandl, Emil Zuckerkandl, Professor of Anatomy, Vienna, 1901, comprises a mass of chromaffin cells derived from neural crest located along the aorta beginning above cranial to the superior mesenteric artery or renal arteries and extending below to the level of the aortic bifurcation. Highest concentration is seen at the origin of inferior mesenteric artery. It is catecholamine-secreting tumors that arise from chromaffin cells of sympathetic origin derived from neural crest representing a potentially curable form of hypertension. Incidence is 0.005-0.1% of general population, 0.1-0.2% of adult hypertensive population. It is a soft, brownish gray pink tumor, mainly secretes noradrenaline or other catecholamines. It may also secrete calcitonin, ACTH, VIP, vasoactive intestinal polypeptide, PTH-related polypeptide. Prevalence of pheochromocytoma is 0.05%. In patients with hypertension it is up to 0.6%. 4% of incidentallomas of pheochromocytoma. Often it is difficult to differentiate between benign and malignant types. Necrosis, hemorrhage, high Ki67 positive cells, size of the tumor, increased pheochromocytoma of adrenal gland scale score, PAS, capsular invasion and vascular invasion, nuclear DNA ploidy and increased neuron-specific enolase, NSE, level are possible features of malignant pheochromocytoma. Currently mutations in at least 6 distinct genes predispose to pheochromocytomas: RET, NF1, VHL, STHB, STHC, STHD. Extraadrenal pheochromocytoma, 10% common, occurs in organ of Zuckerkandl, urinary bladder, paravertebral or para-aortic area, thorax, neck. It secretes norepinephrine rather than epinephrine because they lack the enzyme PNMT. Commonly benign, 90%. Tumor is XX 10% malignant, XX 10% extraadrenal, X by 10% bilateral, XX 10% familial. 10% childhood, X by 10% multiple, XX 10% not associated with hypertension. X. Clinical features. Clinical manifestations are due to increased secretion of epinephrine and norepinephrine. Commonest presentation is severe headache, palpitation, dyspnea, weakness, pallor, blurred vision and other symptoms of sympathetic overactivity. They may present as persistent or paroxysmal hypertension, 90%. As an abdominal mass which is non-mobile, smooth, does not move with respiration, crossing the midline, palpation may cause fluctuation in BP. It may precipitate hypertensive encephalopathy, cardiac arrhythmias or cerebral hemorrhage. Panic attacks and sudden death are known to occur. It may be associated with MENEA or MENEB syndromes, which includes medullary carcinoma of thyroid and mucosal neuromas. It may be associated with familial multiple neurofibromatosis with café au lait spots in the skin, von Recklinghausen's disease, or with von Hippel-Lindau syndrome, cystic lesion of pancreas, non-functioning islet cell tumor, pheochromocytoma, RCC, CNS and retinal hemangioblastoma. Familial paraganglioma syndrome may be an association with carotid body and extraadrenal paraganglioma. Differential diagnosis: hypothyroidism, anxiety status, cardiac conditions, carcinoids, functioning. Investigations: VMA excretion in urine in 24 hours will be greater than 7 mg, 24 hours in pheochromocytoma. U.S. abdomen, IVU, CT scan. MRI is preferred to CT as contrast used for CT scan can precipitate paroxysms. Measurement of plasma-free metanephrines is the recommended test of choice for excluding or confirming diagnosis of pheochromocytoma. Urinary normetadrenaline or other catecholamines estimation. Arteriography. Iodine-labeled methiodobenzyl-guanidine, MIBG. MIBG is useful to find out extraadrenal involvement. SPECT scan is very useful. I-131 MIBG scan is safe, non-invasive with 100% sensitivity and 95% specificity. Measurement of plasma-free metanephrine and normetanephrine has the highest sensitivity and specificity and appears to be the best initial test for screening patients with pheochromocytoma. Treatment: adrenalectomy before surgery. BP is controlled initially by alpha-blocking agent, phenoxybenzamine or doxazosine, then by beta-blocking agent, propranolol. Then during surgery, sodium nitroprusside IV infusion is used. Adequate fluid therapy to have volume expansion is essential. Careful anesthetic management with a good postoperative care is very essential. In case of bilateral presentation, opposite side can be operated in later period. Intraoperative hypovolemia and postoperative hypotension is a demanding situation for anesthetist to manage. Handling of adrenal tumor on table must be careful and gentle. Adrenal vein should be ligated first. CVP, arterial lines should be present for monitoring. Rupture and spillage of tumor should be prevented. Note: 503. Laparoscopic adrenalectomy is becoming popular. It is choice of approach for benign functioning or non-functioning adrenal tumors that are less than 6 cm in size. It is contraindicated in malignant tumors and tumor more than 6 cm. Recent trends are cortical-sparing adrenalectomy, thoracoscopic transdiaphragmatic approach, robotic-assisted laparoscopic adrenalectomy. Specimen should be sent for bichromate staining, which stains the specimen brown. Metyrosine is indicated in pheochromocytoma who are awaiting for surgery or when surgery is contraindicated or in refractory to phenoxybenzamine therapy. Metyrosine inhibits tyrosine hydroxylase, thus reducing the catecholamine biosynthesis. Remember, XX pheochromocytoma is rarely malignant in men. 2XX pheochromocytoma under 40 years of age. Suspect men. 2A. VHL-XX beta blocker is given only after patient is fully alpha blocked with phenoxybenzamine, 20 to 60 mg per day, or doxazosine. XX alpha blocker is given 4 weeks prior to surgery to control hypertension, and beta blocker is given 1 week before surgery to control tachycardia and arrhythmias. XX tumors, though secrete dopamine exclusively, has got high malignant chances. XX 5-year survival. 5-year survival for malignant pheochromocytoma is 50%. It needs additional chemotherapy using vincristine, dacarbazine and cyclophosphamide. XX pheochromocytoma in pregnancy has got 50% maternal mortality. XX vaginal delivery is contraindicated in pregnancy with pheochromocytoma. XX adrenal vein should be ligated first. XX avoid breach in the capsule of tumor during surgery. XX careful handling and hemodynamic monitoring is a must. XX sodium nitroprusside may be required on table to control the hypertension, 10 micrograms per kilogram per minute. Malignant pheochromocytoma is 10% common. It is more common in extra-adrenal site. It commonly spreads to lymph nodes, bone and liver. Adrenalectomy in early tumor and debulking in advanced cases with alpha blockers, mitotane and I-131 MIBG therapy and combination chemotherapy are the therapeutic choices. Overall prognosis is not good with 5-year survival being less than 50%.